Happiness is contagious, but so is negativity. I want to talk about something simple, not dramatic, not preachy, just honest. Your happiness is influenced by who you're around. And I don't mean that in a cut everybody off way. I just mean it in a practical, everyday way. Because I had to learn this the hard way. For a long time, I thought I was just stressed. I thought I was overwhelmed. I thought I was in a tough season. And some of that was true. But if I'm being honest, some of my unhappiness wasn't coming from my life. It was coming from what I was sitting in. Happiness is contagious, but so is negativity. And most of us underestimate how much that matters. You notice that you start sounding like your environment. Have you ever noticed that? If you're around someone who complains all the time, eventually you'll start complaining. If you're around someone who always expects the worst, you'll start expecting the worst. If your group chat is constant frustration, gossip, or drama, you start shrinking just a little bit. It's subtle. Nobody just wakes up and says, I want to be more negative. It just kind of seeps in. And I had to face something uncomfortable. I was absorbing energy I didn't even agree with. And then I was wondering, why do I feel so heavy? That doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. We are shaped by what we sit in. Now, let me say this clearly. This is not about cutting everyone off. It's not about thinking you're better than people. It's just about awareness. There's a difference between someone going through a hard season and someone who lives in negativity. I know we all know somebody who lives in negativity. We might love them, but it might not be good for your life and your energy. There's a difference between venting and building your identity around being unhappy. I started asking myself a simple question. How do I feel after certain conversations that I have with people? Do I feel lighter? Do I feel drained? Do I feel hopeful? Am I irritated? And I think that's when things started changing for me. That one question had me evaluating situations that I was living in and realizing, okay, I might not be able to handle this person's energy on a day-to-day basis. So let's check your inputs. Here's the part that hit me personally. It wasn't just people. It was what I was consuming. News. I was watching so much news and it felt like everything was just bad. I mean, I would wake up in the morning, make my cup of coffee, turn on the news, get my phone, go to the news on my phone. I mean, and it wasn't like saving puppies from trees. You know what I mean? It's like deaths and, doom. And it was just a lot. I mean, news, podcasts, social media. Even the way I talk to myself. Some of us are mentally rehearsing like this worst case scenario all day long. I have a dear friend that I love, and she does this all day long. What a sad and scary place to live every day, like mentally. And I hear things like, what if this fails? What if something goes wrong? What if I lose this? And we call it being responsible. But really, we're living in problems that haven't happened. You can't surround yourself with negativity all day and expect peace at night. It doesn't work like that. I don't care how much essential oil you drown yourself in, it can't take away all of that negativity that you sit in all day long. Now, is there a way to train yourself to be happier without faking it? So I don't believe in fake happy. I don't believe in pretending everything is fine, but I do believe happiness can be trained. Not perfectly, not overnight, but intentionally. And here are a few things that helped me. One, I changed my inputs. You have to think about this. If everything you consume is outrage, drama, stress, your nervous system stays on edge. You don't have to ignore reality, but you don't have to marinate in it either. Two, limit constant complaining. You don't have to silence people, but you can limit how long you sit there in that negativity and listen to that negativity. And I would suggest like redirecting. And if that doesn't work, it's okay to excuse yourself. 3, move your body before your mood crashes. And I'm not talking about for weight loss. I'm talking about for your state, your mental state. Sometimes a 10-minute walk resets everything. Sometimes I just get out, and if you can't physically move your body, a good thing that I do is I like to scream. Now you have to make sure no one's around because, it kind of can freak out a neighbor or two. But like I just get all the energy I can. If I, can't go for a walk, can't do something physical and just scream. 4, stop rehearsing disasters. Ask yourself, is this happening right now? If it's not, you don't need to emotionally live there. 5, choose one small win every day. One. That's it. Make the call, send the email, finish the task, clean the space. Happiness isn't fireworks, it's small daily wins. So let's redefine happiness. I also had to redefine happiness. I used to think happiness meant excitement, big moments, big wins, big breakthroughs. But happiness for me now, it's peace, it's stability. It's not constantly fighting reality. It's building a life I don't secretly hate. And that starts with protecting your environment, your conversations, your inputs, your internal dialogue. Because if you constantly sit in negativity, you will feel negativity. That is not a flaw, that's exposure. It is time for the tiny but mighty win report because winning isn't always loud and we celebrate small movements around here. Here's mine for the week. So I've been writing my borderline winning book, 75% done with it. So I'm really proud of myself. I decided to write and correct about 6 chapters the other day. I have everything just on my laptop, and I was sitting at the dining room table and my screen went blue. I don't know if you know about this. Blue is the screen of death. And I pay for this thing at Best Buy where you get tech support or something, right? I call them and they're like, "Yeah, you can bring your computer in." And I go in there and he said, "The best thing I can do is give you a coupon and offer a percentage off of another computer. Your computer is dead." And I said, "Well, okay, I can buy another computer, but I will still need my data off that computer. My book is on that computer and I am 14 chapters done. So, is there anything you can do?" And honestly, I felt like he took on my energy more than I did. He looked at me like his face just kind of went ghostly white and he was like, "Ma'am, no, I'm not going to be able to get anything off this computer. It is dead. Like, computer graveyard, there's nothing you can do." I did not freak out. I didn't. I could have. The less peaceful me that hadn't been through a healing, you know, time, and I might have freaked out. I might have went into the car, cried my whole way home, and screamed, but I didn't. I was driving home thinking there must be something that the universe, God, somebody up there didn't want out. There must be something that maybe it was something that needed to change. I had been questioning myself, wondering, okay, is this too businesslike? Is this down to earth enough for people to understand? Maybe that was my sign that, hey, let's just start over. Let's just start over. The number 11 means a lot to me. And I looked at the time and it was 11:11. And something in my heart was like, it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. Start writing again. So I'm starting writing again. The tone might be a little bit different. It is different, actually. I'm hoping it's more relatable. I'm hoping you will all like this. Yeah, it wasn't a headline moment. That tiny win wasn't insignificant either. It means that I am showing up for myself. I am showing up for, what I need to do. And it's okay. Things happen. Things happen. So, yeah. So, my tiny but mighty win was that I didn't freak out. I didn't have a freak out moment. No, it's just I'm starting over. So, the book might take a few more months. That's okay. But you know what? Tiny means consistent, right? So, now it's your turn. What's one tiny but mighty win from your week? Nothing impressive, nothing polished, just something real. Drop it, own it, celebrate it. Tiny is how we win here. If this episode made you think, good. If it made you notice something, even better. You are allowed to build a life that feels lighter, even while you're healing, even while you're building, even while you're becoming. Life is messy, progress is progress, and tiny steps still count. I'll see you next time. Please comment, like, and share.